Hey everybody, it's Becky. I am really excited to be back today to show you my homeschool lesson planner. I have been wanting to make this video for probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, but I wasn't ready. I didn't have everything the way I wanted it. I couldn't find the right pages that I wanted, and I really wanted it to be something that was personal and that was going to work for me. And I found a lot of great printables and things online. I would print them out and then I would realize they really didn't work for my situation. So I finally have struck gold on this one. Thanks to Melissa from True Studio on Etsy, Trew Studio. I'll link her shop down below. She has so many great printables, individual, and then also you can buy bundles for all different kinds of lesson planners and home management binders and homeschool lesson planners. So that is where most of these printables came from, and I wanted to share them with you guys so you can get an idea of what has been working for me, because maybe you were struggling to find something that would work for you. So the first thing is I had to get a cute binder to put it in. This one came from Office Depot, and I just thought it was cute because it has the black and white stripes and a big pink heart. And I'm sorry about the glare, but I'm filming in my kitchen and the overhead lights are kind of shiny. Okay, so the first thing is when you order one of the planners, you'll get a customized cover page. So this one was customized, is the one that I picked, and I didn't want the year or anything on it because I wanted to be able to use it year after year. So I just got this one, and I laminated it so it'd be a little bit sturdier. It makes it pretty every time I open up my planner. Then I have just this that I made. It says, you have a choice each and every single day. I choose to feel blessed. I choose to feel grateful. I choose to be excited, I choose to be thankful, and I choose to be happy. And I laminated it just to see every day and remind myself of those things. So of course, an attendance sheet. Just wanted to show you what hers looks like. I had already begun to use this one, which I did find free online. I don't really know where, but I just printed it on yellow cardstock. And the reason I like this one is because I'm able to total it up at the end of the month. And as you can see, I'm kind of behind, but I can total it up at the end of the month and keep track of how far, how many more days we need to do in our school year. You get the year at a glance page, which some of this stuff I'm still working on filling out, and some of it I haven't filled out just because it's going to have some personal and some information about where we live on it. So some of these pages I have left blank until I'm able to film this video. So I'm anxious to get in here and start working on this. But you do get a year at a glance, which is really nice, especially if you like to do certain projects in certain months, or you have certain things related to your school that come up each month, in specific months. It's a good place to put them all down here, especially if you're using this over the summer to kind of plan for your next school year, because you can start writing in maybe trips you have, things you have planned that you need to do, special projects that you want to do for each month, and kind of get your school year framed up. It's just a really great way to see your whole school year at a glance. These are also good for personal planning. If you have a home management binder, you could definitely print these out for that as well. This is another sheet that, like I said, I did leave blank because there were some location specific field trips that we took that I didn't want to share, but it's a really nice way to look at each month and have it, if you're going to go on a field trip, the date and time, the location, and any other information like how much it costs or a contact person. This is a great place to keep all that information. Now there's another sheet that I'm using in combination with this that's in the back, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this comes in the lesson planner kit, and it's just a really great way because we do try to take one field trip a month. And so I'm anxious to get this video filmed so I can actually write in the ones we've already done and then the ones that we have coming up. Like I know we have one coming up in January that I don't want to forget about, so as soon as I film this, I can go ahead and write in the name of the person that I spoke to and the day that we're supposed to take our field trip. So it's a really great way to organize your year and making sure that you're taking those field trips, because they are fun and we all need to get out of the house and do something fun now and again. So this little pocket I just stuck in here, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep this in here because it could get quite full. But I have things in here that I want to do coming up in this month or maybe the next month, some special projects that are out of the norm for us. So not something that we would typically do, like maybe a special craft. If you look in here, I have a Thanksgiving craft that we want to do. I have some countdown to Christmas little trees that I want to do with the girls. I have some homemade snow dough craft to do in December. So I just have those slipped in there so I see them every day and I don't forget to do them. But that would also be a good place to write on your year at a glance, if you want to do these in December, to maybe write down the projects you want to do. So this is my month. I have everything tabbed. I just got these little dividers at Office Depot. They're Avery dividers. And I started in well, now it says October, but I had started in August and it goes all the way through May. So this is what a blank month will look like. You just have this really pretty border up here with the days, and then a little spot at the bottom for some notes if you need to. And of course it's got the year. And then you're gonna have your month at a glance for each month. And so this is a really good way to plan out your goals, your activities that you have planned, anything you need to remember, any supplies that you need for any of your crafts or activities, and then a reading list. And so I just got this planner at the end of October and got it all set up. So I've very lightly planned a little bit. But the supplies are really great because if you want to try to stay on top of all those projects you have planned, like for the salt dough ornaments or snowmen, I don't know if I have all the supplies for that, so I would go ahead and put that here so I could remember to purchase those. And then this is getting into, and I just have a little flag right here, this is getting into the weekly planning session. So the reason that I liked the lesson planner pages was because the days and the weeks were not dated. You could date them yourself, because that way if you take off a week, you're not wasting part of your planner. You can print this, for however many weeks you intend to school, and you're able to write in the date yourself. So I really liked that option. I like how she gives you a nice long column here for your objectives. I actually wrote in my youngest daughter's Awana verse that we have to remember each week, just to help me. I mean, she's got a book, but I don't always have her book in the schoolroom, and I wanted to have it written down so that I could remember to go over that verse with her. You could definitely do anything you want right here. There's nothing, there's no boxes or lines or anything you have to worry about fitting in right here. You've got a nice big space to do whatever you want with. At the top, she's got 7 spots, 7 columns for subjects. Right now mine are empty, just because if you watched my plan for my 6th graders weekly work, we have our own system for my 6th grader. So the only thing that goes in this planner is things that we're doing together, special projects we do together, or my youngest daughter's thing. Like if I notice that she's struggling with a certain sight word or a couple sight words, I can make a little note and stick this in here and just remind myself, tomorrow I'll work on me, my, and you if she's struggling with those, things like that. So that's why I leave the subjects blank, but they are up there. If you decide to label your columns, you will have 7 columns to do that with. And if you notice, I use these Post-it notes instead of writing it in. That way, if we don't get to something, I'm able to just easily switch it till the next time that I have, the next day or the next couple days. And I'm not erasing and writing and erasing and writing. And so I think this is a very loose form of the version of loop scheduling. People that loop schedule, I think they use this system a lot just because it is easier to move things around. There are plenty of times that you don't get to things and you are annoyed every time you have to erase it and move it to the next day. Well, then you have to move what you had written here over somewhere else. And so it's really nice to keep it on the Post-it notes. And then if I want to, after we've done it, I can go ahead and write it in just so I have a longer term kind of a documentation of what we did. But this really has helped me, and I've started doing this when I plan my YouTube videos too. I used to handwrite in what videos I had planned, and then every time something happened or I switched something around, I was erasing and rewriting and erasing and rewriting. This is such a simple solution that never occurred to me, so I'm really glad that I have started doing that. It's helped out a lot. So that's just kind of showing you that week. That was back in October. So going into November, again, we have our month at a glance. I don't use this a whole lot, at least not right now. I haven't, for whatever reason. I haven't found as much of a need for it, but it is there for you. And I did mark that we had a field trip on the 5th and that Thanksgiving is on the 26th. Again, with our month at a glance, just some activities. I wanted to make sure we did a review about the Pilgrims, even though we talked about it in October. And then we want to watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Again, you've got your goals, your things to remember, your supplies, and your reading list. This is one place where I did use the month at a glance. I marked off already that we're not going to be doing school on Christmas Eve or Christmas. I haven't decided yet about the day before Christmas. Since we don't usually have plans, I typically will do something with them the week of Christmas, but it's fun stuff and crafts and special things. So we still do school usually, but it's not like anything strenuous. And then I have a note here because I have some little, just a little gift that I wanted to leave on their desk one night, probably at the beginning of December. It's just a little Christmas pencil and a Jingle Bell bracelet and just a couple little Christmassy things just to make it special for them. So I do have that written there. That's a great place to write things like that. If you have like a birthday, you want to do a special celebration, or you have a little something you need to work on for that month, that's a good place to put that. But that's the format all through the year. And those all come in your lesson planner kit, which is $10. So you get a lot for what you pay for. Let me just read through real quick and make sure that so you know what you're getting. The Printable Lesson Planner Kit, which is $10, and I have the link down below. You get a 2-page undated weekly spread, which is this that I showed you. So you get 2 of these, on one on each side, just so because you can print them as many times as you need. You get your 13 dated monthly calendar pages, July through July, and 13 month at a glance planning pages, and you get a coordinating front and back cover page. Now I believe one thing I failed to actually print because I don't need it is a 2-year at a glance pages, so you'll get 2015 and 2016, just like the small little calendars, so you can really look at a good 2 years overhead view. So that all comes in the Printable Lesson Planner Kit, and it's only $10, which is a really great deal because, like I said, except for this, which is dated, all these other sheets are not dated. So you're going to be able to use this over and over and over and over. And so it's a really great deal, and that's one reason why I like this one in particular, this kit in particular, because they're not dated. So really, you can use it for years and years to come. I had to show you the rest of my planner. So I went through all the months, and that's how I keep track of everything we're doing in our homeschool. And then I have a couple tabs here that this actually I found at Office Depot as well, and I couldn't resist it because it was polka dots. So this first section is answer sheets and assessments, and basically this is for my oldest daughter specifically. Right now is the only one that has workbooks that have these answer sheets in the back, and so I pulled the answer sheets out so she's not that she would look, but just so they're not available for her to see. And I wanted someplace to keep them because I didn't really have, and there's just a couple of them, and I didn't really have anywhere to put them. So right now, those are just in there. If she doesn't, if she ends up finishing that workbook and doesn't have an answer sheet anymore, then that will just stay empty. But that's there for me to put them so they're not just laying on my desk. And then when I said assessments, this is a section for if either one of my girls has some kind of way of gauging their progress. In this case, it's my youngest daughter's I Can Read fluency strips that I got from the Moffitt Girls Teachers Pay Teachers store. I love her store and her blog. She's got such great things in her shop. She's got complete curriculum. She's got a lot of supplemental materials. And so this is what we're using along with our reading program. And it's fluency strips that my youngest daughter reads. And this is a way to check off, how well she's reading. So I've got hers back here. For my youngest daughter, I also have her sight word assessment, just so I know the words that she's supposed to know for each level. And there's a little test at the back that I can give her to check her sight word, how well she's doing on her sight words. I also have in this section any placement tests that are necessary. So now the next section is extracurricular activities, and I just had this page turned around because it had some personal information, but this is all anything the girls are going to do that I'm able to count as school that are extracurricular. So if they were doing dance or swimming or any kind of a certain sport, in this case my oldest daughter does the 4-H dog club, so I've got all her papers for that in there. I have a field trip section right here just so I could keep these sheets in here. This is something that we do whenever we go on a field trip. I try to remember to have the girls fill out one of these, so it's just where we went, the things we saw, what we learned, and my favorite part. And this is a printable from Elizabeth Hall. I'll try to find the link for that down below if I can. And then also, if I had the girls draw a picture or something from when we got back from that trip, this is where I'm going to keep those. And this is my youngest daughter's drawing of the trip to the zoo. So there she is with the zebra. And in this same field trip section, this is something that I made, and of course it's not nearly as pretty as the Melissa's from True Studio, but I wanted a place to keep ideas of field trips. The sheet that I showed you before was actually when we took the field trip. This is just going to be a list of potential places that we want to go so that I don't forget the location and who the contact person is, how much it's going to cost, and then notes. So like maybe if it's something that we would have to make a reservation for, or we would have to have a certain amount of people in our group. Just wanted to have this so that I could brainstorm. And again, I'm going to fill this in. I was waiting until after I filmed this video to do that, since there is some location information that I don't want to share. But this is my place to keep that information so that I know where it is when I want to reference it and plan out our field trips for the year. The next 2 tabs are just standards of what each girl is going to be working on. So this could be like if I had a sheet showing what each girl should, I hate to use the word should, be learning in their grade level, because that's the benefit of homeschooling, is kind of designing your own curriculum. But I kind of like to keep along with, loosely follow what the kids in public school are learning at their grade level. So this is the 6th grade version, 6th grade section, and I have In this area, I have this sheet that I found from lifeyourway.net. It's a curriculum list. And so if I am interested in doing some more research about a curriculum for a certain subject, this is where I plan to keep that written down. It's got a spot right here that says subjects are like reading, math, language arts, science, and then maybe some potential curriculums that you want to look into in each subject. And this is going to be really good for me, especially with my kindergartner, because I feel that her curriculum is going to change a lot more as the years go on than my 6th grader. My 6th grader, we've kind of fallen into a pattern. We've found a lot of things that we love to use for her, and I don't anticipate switching her up a whole lot. My kindergartner, however, is going to have a lot of different things changing as she's able to do more and more with writing and science and language arts and all those things. I feel like I'm going to be using this a lot more for her. But I have one in my 6th graders little section here anyway. This is the book list that also comes with from True Studio. And I just have on here, if there's a certain book that I really want her to read and I want to remember, to write it down so that I could find places to put it in her school year. I've got a place to write the title of the book and the author, and of course her name and the grade she's in. I haven't filled this in yet. I've already had her read a couple things. She read Soul Surfer last week, and we watched the movie and talked about that. She's getting ready to read A Christmas Carol, which was my choice for her to read. So this is going to be my place for me to write that in. And then again, for my kindergartner, she has a curriculum list. And here you can see I've kind of started her for spelling. I'm really interested in doing research for her all about spelling and spelling UC. I think I'm leaning more towards all about spelling. But I wrote that down just so I wouldn't forget anything else that I happen to find that I'm interested in looking into for her. This is where that's going to go. And then again, she also has a book list. Now, I haven't filled hers in yet, and of course, she does not read independently yet. So this would be a place where, like we just read Stella Luna, that was something that I read to her, and it was just something specific that I wanted, to fill in with our back curriculum that we were doing. But this would be a place where I would do the same thing for her. Right now, it would be things I would be reading to her. But if I had something for Christmas specific that I wanted to remember to rent from the library, or a specific book that goes along with something we're talking about, this would be the place that I would write that for her. And it's not that the state requires it. I just think it's a nice reference for me to have. I just think it's a really nice way to keep track of what we read during the school year. And then for her, I just have this kind of kindergarten guidelines. It's not anything we follow, terribly closely, but it's a nice place to kind of make sure that I'm hitting all the main points of what kids in kindergarten would be learning in public schools. So I'm really excited about the way it turned out. It's been a great way for me to plan, because it's a loose way for me to plan. You can get as specific as you want, but for me, it's able to be made to a very loose planning schedule, because that's what I really like. That's what I am able to keep up with, and that's what I'm more likely to do. I like things that are really broad and kind of open-ended, that I can personalize a lot and make my own and make it work for me. And plus, it's beautiful. The work that she does is really pretty and bright, and it's always nice to open this up and see these pretty colors and how everything's arranged and how the boxes are nice and big, and they have lines if you choose to write on them. I just really think that she's got great printables and great kits designed to help everybody stay organized, whether you homeschool or you're looking for home management binder printables, or you're a teacher in public school and you wanted to find maybe something different than the typical teacher lesson planners. This is a really great option for you to check into. So I will have all the links down below for her shop. It's a really great value for what you get, being able to print them as much as you want. And I'm just really excited to continue using this, making it work more and more for me as time goes on. But I wanted to share this with you guys. It's been a long time coming making this video because I wasn't ready, and now that I'm ready, I'm excited to share it with you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.